What's good, everybody? It's your brother Mad Black, the most dangerous and most toxic black man on the internet. The brother who told you not to try that sovereignty package that you got from Brother Polite, but you did it anyway, and now your ass is going to prison for several life terms. And I'm black up in your face again with some more pro black commentary. So, it has been finally been decided that Daryl Brooks will get at least 6 consecutive life terms for just savagely murdering several people at a Christmas parade not too long ago. I think about a year or so ago. And I remember seeing that story and just feeling bad for the people and the families who were hurt by that. Okay, and Daryl Brooks, I guess his whole point was he was trying to kill his girlfriend or something like that, but wound up killing a bunch of people and children even in the mix. Okay, and it's just a horrible thing, right? And I actually been paying attention to his trial while it's been going on, and I made a comment about it when the judge was reading out his guilty verdict, or before she read out the guilty verdict. I made a point to say that he tried every little sovereignty, uh, Moorish, and admiralty law nonsense that he could. He tried it all while she was reading out or trying to read out the guilty verdict, and the judge was striking all that stuff down. All that stuff didn't matter. He still was found guilty, and now his dumb ass is going to prison, at which he should go. Okay, because that, like I said, that was a horrible thing to do to somebody. You got men, women, and children out there just enjoying themselves, and then you drive your SUV through there and run them over. That's horrible. Okay, just destroying people's lives, and not just the lives of the people he killed, but the people that surround them. I'm talking about like their family members, mothers, fathers, grandparents, whatever. They got to deal with that for the rest of their life because you're an emotional piece of trash. Okay, so the reason I'm even doing this story is just to bring up to my people out there, don't believe these sovereignty hustlers, because Daryl Brooks, first of all, he tried to defend himself. And if anyone watched the trial like I did, all you saw basically what he was doing was trying to stretch things out as long as he could and cause distractions. I felt bad for the people who were actually in the jury, because that whole trial got extended longer than it should have because of all his buffoonery. Him trying to bring up all these obscure and legal presidents trying to get out of going to jail, basically. Some shit that he heard maybe while he was in lockup, or maybe he saw online, and he tried to bring that stuff up in the prison and thinking his dumb ass was actually going to get off for that. Like he literally thought he was going to get away with murder by defending himself and bringing up admiralty law and sovereignty, and that was going to save him. No, it didn't save that Negro. And for you knuckleheads that push that nonsense on social media, on YouTube, people like Polite, I want to see if he tries that with his little trial for sexual assault. But you know, when you guys believe that trash, and then you actually go into a real court system and try that stuff, it's somewhat funny. It's very pitiful. It's a last desperate attempt, and truthfully, you folks really don't know the law enough, excuse me, to pull off something like that. You know, it's not all about reading a pamphlet, because I've noticed that. You know, Polite gives you a little pamphlet or a little vanilla file envelope, and that's supposed to be all you need to defend yourself with the sovereignty hustle. And then that just doesn't work for you Negroes. It never does. And I've seen people try this over and over again, and it never works. Your stupid ass still winds up going to prison. In fact, sometimes you wind up doing worse for yourself by annoying the judge and also annoying the jury. You have to understand that when you're in court for something, it's probably the best thing to do is to either not say anything yourself, get a lawyer to do something, and also be on your best behavior, because you don't want you having an outburst or acting like a buffoon like this dude did and causing the judge to just want to throw the book at you later on, or just cause the jury to hurry up because you kept them waiting for so long. So when they go in that room, they just want to find you guilty and go home. Okay? So you have to be careful with the nonsense that you pull out there, and you knuckleheads. Well, I was going to say you have to be careful with the advice that you give, but a lot of you are not giving real legal advice. You're just hustling to make money off of black people by convincing them that they're something else under the legal laws of this country, and that they can go to court with that nonsense, and you think it's going to work for them. I mean, these sovereignty hustlers know it's not going to work, but they're stealing from you and making money off of you, and none of these fools are going to be around to defend you. If the sovereignty hustle was real and all that more science temple stuff worked, they would have formed an entire legal fund and a legal team to present that and to defend black people in the court system. You see what I'm saying? Why are there not a whole bunch of Moorish lawyers or a bunch of brothers with fezzes working in the legal industry helping black people get out of prison with the sovereignty? You see, they're not even doing that. They're just selling you a book or a pamphlet or pointing you to some obscure passage that they found online or in some legal book, and they give that to you, and then your dumb ass falls for it. All that conspiracy nonsense that they push on you doesn't even actually work in a court of law. What happened to Alex Jones should have proved that to you Negroes. His fat, no neck having ass went to prison for all the nonsense that he put out there online and talking about, the Sandy Hook people. So they were able to sue his dumb ass. And that was a civil court. This fool committed an actual crime. Daryl Brooks committed homicide. He killed people. They're not going to let him get away with that. Okay? They're not going to let him get away with that. You need to have some, especially when you're caught on camera. They're like that. That's bad enough. It's bad enough when there's no evidence and you're just going with your word against the other people. But when you're caught on camera and it's your car, and people know who you are when they see you and when they catch you, that's hard to beat. I mean, it was all over the news even before you went to court. So you're in trouble already trying to prove your case. But definitely you shouldn't have came out with that sovereignty mess. And then that fool, he got into court yelling, acting emotional, basically proving the prosecutor's case without them having to do anything. Just by him acting a fool, you can see that he was a violent person who was prone to outbursts and to just not making any real sense. So, of course, he probably drove his car into a bunch of people. You see what I'm saying? He didn't even prove his case by showing he was a sane person. He proved himself to be completely out of his goddamn mind by the way he was acting in court. But you folks let me know how you feel about this in the comment section. I very much like to hear your opinions on this. But once again, that sovereignty hustle does not work. Do not let yourselves get caught up in that. Do not let your Hotep or Fez wearing buddies put you up on that and get your ass in more trouble than you already are in. Anyway, Mad Black, and I will be back on my foot on these devils' back.